Hello, hello. This is Patty, Greg Patterson, aka the Pink Pig, founder of MadLab. Today's show title is "Coaches Are Everything." Well, it's been 15 years. I've been into this gig. Actually, coming up on 16 in September. And I got in when I got into it. Greg was Greg Glassman, founder of CrossFit. I started off as a CrossFit guy. We branched into all kinds of things since then, but I still think it's a great starting point. And anyway, that's where I started. That was my life. Greg was a personal trainer in his garage, and he'd been a personal trainer in gyms for, I don't know, fucking 20 years or more, 25 years probably. And, his claim to fame was getting kicked out of one gym after the other for doing the things that, ended up creating the movement that he started. Anyway, when I got into the whole thing, it was all about professionalizing the coach and how the coaches were fucked over by the owners, and you know what I mean? He'd been thrown at his places, and he was trying to show people how to become a professional coach in your own garage. It was really where it started, and it was supposed to be like a nonprofit, and the CrossFit Journal is what was going to pay the bills, and that was the utopia we lived in back then. And I started up one of the first affiliates in the world, and we had like a 25-mile radius around that to protect that guy, and it was a different world. Anyway, they went down their path, and my path has been and continues to be professionalizing that coach. So in the current business model, there's no hope of that. There's just simply no chance. If there had been a chance, it would have already happened. You know what I mean? They've been doing this group class phenomenon and personal training phenomenon for 20, 30 years now. And everybody from yoga or Pilates, and every new fitness fad from jazzercise to, F45 to whatever, Orange Theory, they're all doing group stuff. And, they put people straight into a group, or they do this group on ramp, or, you know what I mean? And there's no professional class of coaches. It simply will not allow you to develop a professional class of coaches. Now, some of you that are owners might sit there and go, well, I don't give a shit. I want to remote control this thing, and I can hire and fire coaches and all that stuff. I'd be like, yeah, you can do that, but they don't seem to last very long. And nearly all the guys that I've seen that have been doing that over the last 15 years, they got a shelf life of, somewhere between 3 and 7 years, right? I don't see many after 7 years really doing the group on-ramp into group classes and paying coaches by the hour. I don't see a long shelf life there, and I don't see a business they can really sell. And if they're still around in 10 years, I see them in their business, still working, right? On floor and the whole deal. So, you got 3 choices. Either you don't have much, there's not much to sell, or you're not making much money, or you're hiring and firing coaches, or you're doing the work yourself. I don't see a big end game there. So, what is the game we're playing? And I thank my lucky stars that I found the group of people here in our school in Vancouver. T-Bear is going to be 15. It's going to be his 15th year in October of 2005. He came up from Seattle and joined me, and he probably didn't start coaching until like March or April. I think he might have done his like level 1 thing in March 2006, probably, or something. Anyway, he's entering his 15th year. I don't know any other coaches that they're doing it for 15 years, and that's their sole source of income. T-Bear makes between his 80 and 100,000 a year, and he takes his 5, 6, 7 weeks of vacation, and he's got a pretty good life. Got married last year. Anyway. If I look at it, the amount of energy I put into that business now versus MadLab Group, I seem to be the only person making money out of their gym that has a consulting business, and their gym pays all the bills. The consulting business certainly hasn't for me. We've been putting all our money into infrastructure and tools, and the people and processes, and so that the thing is scalable. I don't have to be working in it all my life. But the school, the gym. It's 3 to 5 hours a month most. Some months it's nothing. I could live anywhere I wanted to, and I've got a good crew there. There's 6 full-time coaches, and the young one's been there 7 years, right? So that's the name of the game. If I'm sitting here, and what I tell our people all the time is, first you got to get your processes right to have a high average client value and a low churn. You need to learn to do that yourself, or have someone else who's tied into the business learn to do that, so they can teach the other generation how to do that. So after they get the processes in place that it allows them to keep their clients and sell a high value service, once you learn that, that's like our first seal. Then the second seal is teaching others, developing coaches, and that's a 3 to 5 year process. It might be as low as 2. I see some of them get pretty good in one. But it's like anything. You want to become a professional at something, even if you're like the professional tradesperson, you're not going to become a journeyman electrician in 1 year, right? And if you think about it, people like to use the dentistry equation, but I think if we use the trade equation, it might make more sense. So if you're a pipe fitter or a plumber or an electrician, a carpenter, any of these kinds of things, a skill-based trade, my best friend, he makes 100 and, I don't even want to say, but something like $150,000 plus as an electrician. Now he's got a good job there and he works in a refinery and all this kind of stuff, but he didn't get that first day. You know what I mean? Where we have coaches that you're throwing in at 15 or 20 or $25 an hour, on the floor. What do you pay your coaches? And that's it. That's all that happens. They're not sitting there 15 years later getting paid $20 an hour. It's not going to happen, right? So for me, the name of the game is professional coach development. And that's what creates a sellable asset. That's what creates a stable business that banks would loan for you to sell that to the next generation of coaches or whoever comes along that wants to take the risk and, be the leader and all that kind of stuff. We're identifying some people in Vancouver for that right now. And I can't do it forever and can't be the one on the risk forever. But, I got another 5 years or maybe 10 in me. We want to make sure this thing lasts 100 years, like we said. Anyway, the professional coach development. So let's say, you're in there and working in your gym and, you got a coach quit. What happens? You got to hire a new one or you got to train them or you got to go in there and do it yourself. So if you can find a method, we have a 3-year accredited program to train these people so they become professionals and they're not paid by the hour, they're paid on client success. Do they stick around? Do they pay a lot of money to stick around, right? So this coach development piece is everything. So that's why I've come back in and taken over, I've got off, sales, marketing, new client acquisition, all that stuff. I'm completely off of that. I'm still the CEO. So I make sure, and the CFO. So I make sure everybody's doing their thing and the money's there. But my passion has always been the professional coach. I love working with business owners too, because I know the pain and struggle of that. But, I'm back in there and we've been interviewing our gym owners for, 6 months and what do you need and how's it work? And, universally, like we need someone that's done it before, talking to our coaches and talking to us to help us guide through to take this thing to the next level, and guide them. So, we now have all mentored programs. So every coach in our network has a mentor that takes them through Junior Apprentice 1, Junior Apprentice 2, and there's a test out and you set up a whole plan for them. They get into senior and they need to have 10 clients and grossing X amount of money a month to get into the senior apprentice program. And then, you have the sales training, the communication enrollment training. Then you start working on the behaviors every week that reinforces them, maintaining clients, attracting new clients and keeping a high value service there. How do you sell it? How do you deliver it? And then how do you get more people? So if you right now, you don't have coaches that are bringing in their own clients and, selling them 10 PTs up front for $900 a pop, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing your clients a disservice. You're doing the industry a disservice. So that's really how we're going to get to the next level. So we can have coaches that make that $80,000 to $100,000 a year plus, or they're making at least $40 or $50 or $60 an hour every hour they work in the gym. I know that might sound outrageous, but if they're selling a high value service and they know how to scale it properly with another group of coaches, it can be done. And we've clearly done that for more than a decade. So that's it. I think the most important part of the whole business is developing the people, right? And a shout out to all my people in Vancouver, T-Bear, Sheppy, Andy, Chestavez, Tommy, Eunice, and then our apprentices that are coming up now, working with them, and then all the apprentices we have around the world. I think we have 150 some odd apprentices in the system right now around the world, and we've probably got another 30 that have already gone through and that are full associate coaches. And so, hands off to you. If you're a business owner and this sounds interesting to you at all, like developing coaches that's where you should be putting all your energy. Or the most of it. I mean, obviously, you got to get them leads, and you got to have your brand and your marketing and all stuff figured out. But the majority of our leads come from referrals because the coaches are that good. Anyway, it's Patty, Pink Pig signing off. Coaches are everything.